I'm here with El-Farouk Khaki, human rights activist and Romanov's lawyer. How are you?
I'm good.
Can you kind of outline the process of becoming a refugee in Canada?
So there are two main ways of getting refugee protection in Canada. One is overseas, and that's a lot more difficult. The other one is once you're already in Canada. The difficulty for many people is to get to Canada, because it's hard to get to Canada as a visitor or in any other way, and increasingly difficult these days with the government policies and diminishing and shrinking access to both immigration and refugee processes. So if the person who needs protection is able to get to Canada somehow, then they can apply for refugee protection. Of course, if the visa issuing office thinks that they're coming to Canada to apply for protection, they won't get a visa to come to Canada, right? So there are exclusions at work, and people who can't establish that they are more likely to return to their country after their visit or after their study in Canada won't get visas.
So how does our country compare to other countries when it comes to accepting refugees?
I think historically, our refugee system has been quite progressive. And so some of the earlier decisions around gender, female genital mutilation, sexual orientation, gender identity, HIV as a basis of refugee protection, I think Canada has been quite on the forefront of that. Over the years, our acceptance rate has continued to be pushed down, or has continued to decline. In the early years of the system, I think Canada's acceptance rate was much higher. I think even today, though, that my sense is that LGBT, gender-based and sexual orientation cases tend to do fairly well. In the 20 years that I've been doing this work, I've had clients from over 110, 120 different countries. And so I have countries like Russia or Ukraine or Nigeria or Uganda or Jamaica that form that provide a large number of my clients, okay? But then I have clients, one client from this country and 3 clients from that country and 4 clients from that country, or, and then you also see varying sort of historical trends. Like you'll have a whole bunch of people coming from country A, and then that'll die down and for a number of years until something happens again, and then it starts picking up again from that country. But of course, the flip side of that is that whenever people start coming to Canada from a particular country, if there's no visa requirement, all of a sudden you'll find that there is a visa requirement, or if there's already a visa requirement, it becomes more difficult to get a visa.
Why is that?
Why is that? That's because they don't want people to come here and make refugee claims, right? I mean, this is the truism that goes on, right? That on one hand we have a refugee determination system, and we're signatory to the convention, to the Refugee Convention, but at the same time we don't make it easy for people to get here. Right? And of course there has been some political rhetoric, particularly under this government, of refugees being queue jumpers and being bogus and so on and so forth. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much.